Hello X2, hello Tinkering EE. Hello, hello. It's time. It's time to do the unthinkable. Okay, so I'm gonna get this thing started, I guess. Yeah. So I'll be back in a moment. Stream is starting. Program of the day is what the let's change this to to-dos. Is what the to-dos says. We're gonna start porting the Zig website. It is time. There's gonna be. It's not just gonna be methodical porting work because I promise you we're gonna hit. Right. Holy shit! Hey, Dimo Roy. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. So, okay, well, since there's a ton of people coming in right away, heading to the airport. Thank you. Have a good flight. So, okay, I'm gonna then explain to everybody right away what we were doing. We're porting the Zig website to my static site generator. It's finally that moment, and let me show you maybe also what stuff looks like. So let me see if I can build. I just had like a test error print. So this is the official site of my static site simulator, static site generator, and this is the new version of it. It looks exactly like the old version. Nothing changed visually, pretty much. But here's a key detail. Let me show you what the old version source code looks like. So if you go to github.com/christopheit/zine ssg.io, and you look at the content for the homepage, guess what you see in here? So first of all, it complains that it doesn't like my YAML. Guess what? It's not YAML. But let's look at the code. So the code shows that I have a video in there. I have a video, an embedded video that wants controls, autoplay, loop, disable picture in picture, muted, with 100%, and sourcing it. Like, so how do you embed a video in Markdown? And the answer is, this is the only way. You can only embed video through HTML tags, unless somebody made some wacky Markdown extension where they added extra syntax for videos. And well, I'm adding new syntax to Markdown too. But I guess my point is that people tend to create new constructs. There's new syntax, new symbols that have new meanings, and everything is very ad hoc, right? You have one dedicated thing for images. Like, why does this bang mean image? I don't know. That's just Markdown, how Markdown is. And, for the basic language, fine. But for extensions, it seems weird to me that everybody extends Markdown by adding a ton of new syntax for it. And every piece of syntax is, well, new syntax that you have to learn. And then it does just one thing, just one extra thing. Instead, here's how I'm doing it now. So the new version of the website looks like this, but there is no HTML because I'm actually banning HTML from Markdown files in Zine. And so here's how it works. It doesn't look great, by the way, right now. It's still work in progress, but here's the idea. The idea is that you can use link syntax to express custom things. And the way we recognize that your thing is a custom thing and not just a normal link, like this one is a normal link, for example, it's because this one is a URL. Well, this one, it's starts with a $sign. It's a scripty expression. So here, I'm saying that I want this image, but this image is a site asset. And what this does is not only that it allows me to reference assets that are like configured inside of Zine in different ways, but also that's what triggers, this is what makes Zine install this image in the output directory. If you have an asset that nothing references, or rather that is not referenced by anything, by any other page in your site, then that asset does not get installed in the output directory. So this is the video. The video has become, it's a site asset, so we fetch it from the site asset directory, and then we can, I give it a big class, and then I set it that it should loop, it should show controls, it should be muted, it should not show a peep, it should not be a peep thing, and it should autoplay. As I said, it's not super good looking. I think that this thing would benefit from having something like this. Probably. Maybe this should go here. I don't know, honestly, where the last parenthesis should go. But I think this seems not bad. Are you planning on adding theme support to Zine? No. There is no centralized concept for theming in Zine. So yeah, it would be an entirely user-land thing. So as a user of Zine, you can somebody, so let me put it this way, maybe even I myself could make a repo that contains a bunch of themes, but they're like just a set of templates with styling already in them. That's the idea. Everything else, yeah, it's decided by you as the user of the library. So this is the state of things. This is the current state of things. By the way, this is not supported yet to be able to do this. Let me try to save this, but I think this should yield a syntax error. Or not. Never mind. No syntax error. Holy shit. Somehow I assumed that you couldn't pull this off, but you can. Well, there you go. I love it. This is very verbose, but you have control. It's, in my opinion, amazing from that perspective. So, so long story short, I introduced images. I introduced video. I need probably to introduce more basic concepts. And more importantly, we're going to use now the Zig website as a test bench to see exactly what we need to come up with. And the idea is to start porting the Zig website slowly, bit by bit, and deliberately taking a moment to think about what would be the optimal way of re-implementing every construct in a better way than what you're allowed to do with normal Markdown, Hugo templates, and usual stuff. So this is my goal for today. So give me a moment. You know what? I'm just gonna get some water, like a bottle of water, and then we can start. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. Okay, let's go do it. So I think the order should be this. We made changes, well, yeah, to Zine, that's for sure. But we also made changes to Scripty. So let's go commit Scripty. What did we add? Oops. Call from built-ins. No, actually call from built-ins doesn't even exist anymore. So, okay, we need to remove this line. Like you can't even go to definition, it doesn't exist. Okay. Hey, in your site, are you going to try and keep the existing zigline.org design? Yeah, entirely. Like my goal right now is to not touch the UI almost at all. In a sense, you kind of would like everything to be as it was, right? You would like to have the expressive power in Zine to not have to change almost anything. Maybe there will be some, changes, minor compromises. Maybe part of the way things are right now in the Zig website are not entirely a deliberate choice. There maybe some things are the way they are partially because of how things worked in Hugo. So those are things that are definitely fair game to change, but I'm not redesigning it. That would be, that's too much. I do think though that after we're done with this work, it would make sense to I think it would make sense to add some things. For example, we don't have a page for core contributors, or rather, we should have in the ZSF section, I think, in the ZSF page, a section for core contributors. I think that would make sense. I wanted to do that in the past. Also, another thing that I wanted to do in the past, and then I ended up not doing, was moving the communities page from the wiki to the website. But I haven't gotten around doing that yet. The main problem was that I didn't know how to properly, what to do about sorting order, basically. Because it's important how you sort communities, and yeah, I didn't know what the best answer to that was. I don't know. I should probably revisit that thing at some point. Maybe now I have a better understanding. Okay, so we added what? Has decal as an inline function. Yeah. And then we're doing fallback call. Yeah. Okay, so this is one scripty. We go up. Now, do we update also super HTML? Yeah, I see no point in not updating its version of scripty. Okay, so we have updated super HTML. Now we have to decide what to do with Zine. So Zine is right now, depending on scripty locally. Honestly, right now, I don't think I have a reason to depend on scripty locally. We could probably make do with normal scripty for a while. now. Even to the point where I would even say we don't need a top level scripty anymore. We don't even need a top level scripty anymore. Or do we? Or do we? And then on SuperMD also depends on a local scripty. Oh man. These guys, huh? These fucking guys. Don't you need to define page all those types? Yes, but the way I was doing it before is that previously I only had super HTML that depended on scripty. And with super HTML, what we could do was we could grab scripty from super HTML. Like super HTML basically defined what the dependency on scripty was. And we were basically, in Zine, we were like accepting whatever scripty version super HTML was depending on. Now we have a more complex situation because super MD also depends on scripty. And what actually happened at some point was the iconic diamond dependency situation. Where basically that would be, I guess that would be, let me change these letters to the more appropriate letters. So that would be Zine depends on super HTML and super MD, and both depend on scripty. Problem is at some point they started having one dependent on commit X, while this one depended on commit Y, and those were in disagreement, so there was a problem. This is the kind of thing the package managers solve by using semantic versioning. They use semantic versioning to see if there is a hopefully viable way of making these two dependencies agree on one version of scripted that should be good enough for both of them, or if that seems to not be possible and so the build should fail, the user should be notified and they should somehow find a solution to this problem. So I guess, and previously what I was doing, as I said, I was basically treating super HTML as the one that has authoritative power over which version of scripting we should use. But now we also have SuperMD, and SuperMD also has a good claim on which version of scripty we should use. So in this situation, I'm kind of tempted to say, you know what, at this point, we, Zine, pull our own version of scripty and we force it on both these dependencies. So now, since previously it was only super HTML, so whatever super HTML wanted was fine. But now it's different. Now Zine, I guess in a sense, needs to negotiate between the two in some way. So I think that's how it has to be. So Zig fetch scripty. We fetch scripty. And let's see if we're doing it right. Yes, we're grabbing our own scripty. And then look, we're saying, you know what? SuperMD module, SuperMD, you now use my scripty. Use the scripty that I like. You don't use yours. You use mine. I'm in command now. And I don't think we're doing the same to layout. Well, no, we're doing it to layout, but we're not doing it to super HTML. It's time to do the same to super fucking HTML as well. So you know what I'm thinking? Here's what we do now. Here's what we do. Do you think Zig 0.14 will have breaking changes? Yeah, guaranteed. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Like if you're asking me exactly what now, I don't have an example top of my. Oh yeah, no, actually I do. So what do people here in chat think of using namespace? Who here is a happy user of using namespace? Make yourself known. You're not. Okay. You have it in one spot? Okay. Well, it seems that people here are not users of uh, using namespace, but that's one thing that's going away. Yeah. Yeah, using namespace was also a pain in the ass for Autodoc also. God damn it. Good riddance. Okay, so SuperMD, Super HTML. So basically, here's what I'm doing right now. So I'm solving the diamond dependency problem. I'm using the, okay, we can call, you know what? We can call this this is the BDFL version resolution strategy. So the idea is, you say that you use a version of Scripty? No, I say which version of Scripty you use. Oh, you say that you use a version of Scripty? No, I say which version you use. I'm the decider. That is the idea. Honestly, I have so much redundance of dot module this, dot module that. I should probably just do dot module on the original dependency. I never use them for anything else other than their main module. So you know what? Let's do it. Except maybe syntax. Yeah. Syntax can stay. And I think also TS can stay because that's three-seater that contains trees as a module. So, okay, you guys can stay. Everybody else needs to change. Although, you know what? We can do this. Removing interface is doing 0.15 not 0.14, right? I don't know. Is that the milestone assigned to a related issue? I would say that this is stuff being worked on right now. Whether it's going to be ready for 0.14 or not, unclear. But also, it's unclear when 0.14 is going to be released. There is no set release date for that, and it's not necessarily going to be, right away. So, like if 0.14 is 6 months from now, for example, then by then, yeah, everything will be done. Okay, let's see how terribly we've broken this thing. Okay, it seems that we're doing fine. So this should have updated and cleaned up a little bit the build script. So what do we do now? I guess we want to change from D, have a remote scripty. Can we Zig build? Can we pass tests? No, we don't. Of course we don't. Okay, let's fix our tests in SuperMD. In format. What's the problem? Current is node. It's a.root. Yeah, that's now a.md.root, I think. Does it need a next? I think it does, right? Yeah, and it needs that. Okay, what's our problem now? Built-in not found in image. Did I not push scripty? So the idea is that scripty built-in not found in image. The fact that it's not found. Oh yeah, right. No, that's correct. Okay. Because it's not source anymore. This is now asset. Okay, there we go. Now we pass tests. Okay, so we could commit this in. We could commit this in. But then how do we build the website off of this? No, okay, I think that we should commit this in into a branch. That is, I think, something we need to do for sure. So git status. Check out B super MD. Okay. Perfect. So now we have a super MD branch. Now, what we need is the Zig website. pool. So now we want to check out the Zine. Zine rewrite. Okay. And I guess now it's time that we make things happen. Also, why is there a build.zig? Used for writing the long ref documentation. Install release notes. Varnav HTML. Oh. Stuff happens. Stuff is happening in here. Okay, Varnav HTML. Install release notes. You know what? This becomes old build. We'll think about it another moment. For now, what we do is just Zine website. Actually, we want to do Zine multilingual website. And now we have to decide what to put in here. So, host URL. What's the title of our website? Z programming language. So there we go. We should have now a multilingual website, only one variant, but better than nothing, I guess. So let's make this happen. What we need next is so we move content to old content. We move layouts to old layouts. Maybe we should move also I18N exists as a directory, but there's nothing in it. Oh, I think it was created by ZLS running the build script, I think. Okay. So themes. Yeah. Assets has a bunch of weird shit in it, huh? It has all the code samples, right? Okay, we need to think about how we want to have these things work. Cool. This seems fine. So next is touch. I have Ziggy. Any advice of writing a drawing board like Lorian? Sorry, I don't have any. I've never done anything like this, so nothing useful to recommend. I guess the only suggestion that I would have is maybe Mac Engine. Okay, so we got a 404 not found. That's great. Awesome. Let's see. Content here in US, nothing else. Okay, now let's copy old content underscore index.us.md. Oh no, that's en.md to content slash enus index.md. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna be porting this one page. It's gonna take a while. Let me tell you. This already is gonna take a while. We also need to port over a couple layouts, right? So mkdir layouts slash templates, copy themes, Zig original, layouts, default, base off. God damn it, Hugo. Okay, so base is going to be hard already. Okay, you know what? I expected worse. Honestly, we can make this happen. Um, Block title and site.title. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder why. Which errors am I getting? Unexpected character in attribute name. Man, this fucking language. Oh god. Okay, so we have a title thing. So for lang, here's what we would like to have. We kind of would like to have this. I mean, doesn't matter. Site dot local code. That's it. Done. Style resources get style permalink. What is this shit, man? There you go. Done. Nav to CSS minify. So we don't have minification. So we kind of lost that ability. Oh well. Links. This block is called links. Why? Why did I call it links? Because it's where the link stuff goes? Why did I not call it head? Okay, we're closely getting to a point where we can auto format. Rel lang URL. Rel lang URL. Oh, that is a fair point. You want this to be your homepage. How do you do this? How do you express this? I think this is kind of like a to-do. We should probably have like a list of to-dos that we're leaving behind. Yeah, that's a fair point. That is absolutely a fair point. We don't really have a way of doing this for now. So let's leave this empty. Then partial navigation.html. So this partial is it's basically a snippet. and we don't have snippets yet. We can do that with inheritance, but I also think that in reality, the fact that we're embedding, like, who else is using navigation other than us? I don't think there's anything that does not extend base that uses navigation. So this can be incorporated. So let's go do that. Well, yes, things have become very quickly very complicated, huh? Okay, DVD content role main. Why does it say role main? I'm not sure I understand this role main stuff. You know what? Let's leave it. And then footer. Man, if only this would work, huh? We have to remove all the curly stuff before we can get out of formatting. So if translated, I'm thinking of like adding HTML comments around all this stuff. Oh, this thing doesn't know how to comment things though. There you go. So this is done. Now we have this part here. Let's see. Site page download the rel-lang URL. Yeah, we don't have, I think right now, a way, well, we have a way of linking to certain pages, but not to pages by name, which is kind of unfortunate. This is definitely something that we should implement. So you know what we're doing for now? Let's comment this out again. And we do the same also with the other nav. Okay, so now we get auto indentation. So we got auto formatting. So we're now a valid HTML file. So this is fine. Next is index. Oof. Okay. So that's title. Then links, which for us is this. CSS home.css. How do we do this? I think the var is gonna complain that I have a body in here. Maybe we can move it outside, I guess. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this should give us the basics. Let's see if we can build expected colon. Oh, it's the front matter that's borked. We don't even have auto indentation. Oh my god, this thing is like driving me nuts. Okay, give me all the other issues that you have with my stuff. Index 3.1, expected dot, unexpected dot, expected comma or curly. Oh yeah. Missing field author. Hmm. Holy shit, we're cooking. The experience of bootstrapping everything is truly painful though. We clearly need to improve this. Okay, let's go. We're now at markdown syntax error. HTML is forbidden, and we have HTML every fucking where in this page. So what do we do about this, huh? So here's what I would say. Maybe we should strip this down and then add to it bit by bit or something. I'm thinking also that maybe we should allow HTML comments. And that should just not be rendered. Although at the same time, why should we use HTML comments when we can use some other construct for comments, but also then what comment? What syntax for comments? Like, are we adding more syntax to Markdown? And that is, I don't know, a good question, I guess. But I guess we can do this. This turns chunks of toggles off chunks of things, right? Jesus Christ. Like everything. Look at how much fucking stuff is there. It's like everything is filled with stuff, man. Okay, let's see. Script evolve. Unable to access CSS style.css. Error file not found. Right, I bet you because those are static assets. No. Resources is caching. It's from a theme. There you go. Okay, now we have CSS as an asset in there. You can take installation from typist markup. It has comments. I think I'm generally against the idea of adding more syntax to Markdown. Okay, let's see how the Zig website looks like now. Okay, as a starting point, I think we can all agree that it looks kind of like shit. It does look kind of like shit. We can all agree about that. But, you know, it's a starting point. It's a starting point. So, what do we know next? I think we kind of want to make the slogan work. Okay, let's see how we can make this work. So to make the slogan work, we need to make it an H1. And we need to call it slogan. Then we need to say that it's a block. Or tagline, maybe. This is sometimes also called the tagline. We do call it slogan internally, so I don't know. Let's just keep referring to it as slogan. Seems fine to do. Then it has some things that need to be defined. So I guess these values don't need to stay in the I18N necessarily. They can stay here. Although, how do you do that? That would be data. We don't have data at the moment. Maybe we should add data. For now, we don't care, I guess. So that's fine. So block ID slogan. And under it, have this. Build error. Reach unreachable code in render directive. Yes. So we totally need to develop some Zine now. I know what that error is. That's something that we need to implement ourselves. Okay, so what we need to change here is In render HTML, we hit a link that has a directive that we do nothing about, that we know nothing about. So if the directive is of kind block, we do nothing. We don't even render it, right? Yeah. But when heading, we do something to the heading though? No, for now we don't do anything to the heading in here. Okay, so they should be already good. All cases already handled. Oh, was there another else unreachable? Oh no, I see the point. I added block, and so now there is no else anymore. Yeah, fair. Okay. So now we run, and now we print the slogan like this. And it kind of sucks. Let's render it in a better way now. So how did we render the slogan previously? I guess we want to take a look at how it was originally. No. Inspect. Oh man, truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. Maybe we can add some spaces and we can get some better indentation. What do you say? Okay, this seems like much better. Much better. Okay, so this is funny that these are going on multiple lines. So the way we want this now is class container slogan message. There you go. Okay, we do it. We did it. We are now rendering this in a better way. We're not parameterizing get started, so this needs to be an I8N thing. This should cause an error. But we do panic. Oh no, the server panic. Okay, that's a bug in the server. But yeah, now let's see. That mismatch. Content section slogan doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? We rendered it just now. It totally does exist. that error is really confusing to me, because I can see something else causing this error. Like this I18N that we're doing here should cause an error. Did I somehow mess this up? How come that we saw it a moment ago? Like somehow I broke it. That seems funny. Well, in any case, so this is the latest release stuff. How do we do this? So people were also offering up documentation and changes in the language. Okay, so this is fine. How come we lost? How come according to this guy we lost a section? Okay, you know what? Let's make that error also tell us what are the available sections. Can I do FMT? No, I can't do FMT. Well, you know what? Maybe I still can. Can I do like dot keys or something on this guy? String array hash map unmanaged must totally have a list of keys, right? Hell yeah. Okay, show me what you got. Now watch all the corrupted memory that we're gonna get. Those sections are fucking nothing. Also, quotes are like all over the place, but fine. So let's remove the quotes. Not needed. The fact that that thing is empty is a little bit sus. Let me think about. The thing that I'm confused about is that we saw that thing a moment ago. Like, what happened? It's almost as if there is a difference between no, actually I don't know. Okay. Content section slogan doesn't exist. Let's take a look at layout. And let's take a look at what's in AST. When the page is loaded, then. Show me what happens when the page is loaded then, friend. Here we look at the directives, we do things. There's nothing that we have to do about sections, that said. Son of a bitch. So here we have sections. But then later on, we don't have sections anymore? How does that work? So here we do have sections. We return the page. Talking about infinite drawing boards, I found the perfect candidate for build zigification. Also, hello, Martin Weber, and deceleration. Let's see. It always has to. It's a system building spirit. You're creating a distribution, not a program. Zig negotiation between differently and directly elected dependencies. That is, I suppose, in context will come out without context if at all. Oh, I see. Thank you. Has everyone else run into difficulties getting the Zig overlay Nix Flake working for Zig 013? I'm not a heavy user enough of NixOS to know. Sorry. But there are people doing a bunch of NixOS and Zig in the community, so you should be able to ask them. Oh, Milton. I think I already heard about Milton. C++, huh? Yeah. If somebody is willing to do the work, that seems like not a bad idea. Okay. So how are we losing our sections? What is the Zig overlay issue? I don't know. Deceleration knows. We don't know. So let's see. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm a goddamn idiot. I'm a goddamn idiot. AST is p.underscore meta.ast. And we need to copy actually also the or else code. Yeah. I never updated that piece. Okay, let's see what we get now. Ah, there we go. Now everything works correctly, and we successfully fail on trying to get the get started stuff. So let's go into our Z file. Actually, let's do it like this. Do we have support for this syntax? I don't remember. Well, let's not stress this for now. It started. Documentation. Changes. Oh, I used not non-bang changes. Or rather, not bang get. Okay, so we build. And we're back to building this delightful thing. But as you might have noticed, we show the slogan, but we also show the H1, which we don't want. So we need the ability to say, give me this section, but actually I don't want the H1. Can you skip the H1, please? So we need to do that. I'm not sure if this should be the final design, but here's what I'll do basically. I'll accept a second argument. So I'll say content section. So here we have the heading boolean value, which defaults to false. Then we do section get, and then we do render, blah, blah, blah. Start. I think start can be. So we reset to the entrance of start. So I guess we can do dot next sibling, I think. Well, no, that's how it works. Okay. And this should actually default to true. Okay, there we go. So with this, we can skip the H1 if second argument is provided. So here we say, given the section slogan, but then skip the heading. Accept type node found optional node. Oof. There you go. This is not doing what I was expecting it to do. Okay, I understand now. It expects us to kind of start. I understand now what's going on. You need to make this API more explicit. I cannot do this. Okay, almost. Almost. There we go. Okay, we succeeded. So now we are rendering only this section without a title. Now we need a way of saying, well, now give me the rest. Although, well, now we kind of have a design question on our hands. Like, maybe these guys should be H2s? Honestly, it would make sense for these guys to be H2s. Yeah, it actually makes total sense for them to be H2s. To be honest. So with this, we can call a. Although an alternative, we could say that these are under a block even if there are H1s, as long as they aren't blocks themselves. That's also another thing that we can do. It's probably not a bad idea. It's probably not a bad idea. So let's keep them as H1s. And then what we say is, well, they only get to be considered a separate thing if they're blocks on their own, which in a sense can be done like this. That kind of detracts though from the hierarchical logic of everything. But what if you want to put H1s in your sections? How do you do that? How do you do that? I think it's fine to have to move them to H2s. So let's call these features. Maintain with Zig, and then this other stuff goes here. Okay. So now when we render this, we say, well, thank you for the slogan stuff. That's delicious. Now let's do the 2-column layout that I think we want to copy some of the HTML for. Copy outer HTML. Oh, we're gonna need to gut this thing out on. Hey, the bunny. Hello. Always happy to see you live when I log into Twitch. I'm working now, and having you in my second screen helps me focus and also stay hyped about coding just a little bit more. Thank you. And I hope that you're getting some, productive work in as well. So we want to put our stuff here. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. Oh Jesus. Okay. So these are the features. I think we kind of want the outer container. We want features, but then we don't want any of these things because we do render all of them. We do want the closing divs stuff though. Oh, look at the buttons. Display flex, learn overview class button, more code samples. P class file. Wait, so this is already the second column. Let's get rid of the second column in its entirety. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be. Oh man, having diagnostics is so fucking nice. Holy shit. So here we have features, and then we also have at the bottom of features this other thing. Okay. So can I do a div and then do var equals page.content section features? Are we happy or are we unhappy? Yo, yo, yo. It seems that we're kind of happy. I would say that it seems that we are kind of happy. Now we need to put the code sample. Got laid off today. Fun times. Oh no. Chess noob. Life is hard. There's a lot of stuff going on in tech right now. Companies are like weirder than ever. Seems like inline style is greater than Tailwind. I think that that's because of how I think that that's how I define these code snippets. The problem is that in Hugo, you're really tempted to use they call them short codes, like logic tags that you put inside of Markdown. And because of how you're designing these things, you don't have a nice way of expressing those things through CSS. You can do it. Obviously, you can obviously give classes to things. But since you're touching other files, it's not, how can I say, you're not being, you're not being encouraged to do proper CSS. And so I ended up not doing proper CSS. Is software engineering job dead because of AI? Do I need to switch job role? No, I don't think so. Well, or rather, I don't know what the answer to the last question is. Honestly, there might be like, even if, let's say that the answer to the first question is no, that doesn't necessarily imply that the answer to the second question should also be no, just so we are clear. But AI is certainly making things weird. I don't think it's really filling in the like, it's not like you can really replace developers with AI. I'm not even sure that AI makes existing software engineers more productive. I would say that that's strongly debatable. Maybe AI makes some people more productive. You know what? I can absolutely easily buy the argument that AI makes some developers more productive. Dell laid off 15,000 people today. Jesus Christ. Were you one of those 15,000? Dell? Huh. In major shift towards AI. Oh my god. No. Okay. So Intel also had a huge layoff. Okay, this is just my theory, so I might be wrong. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. But I would argue that AI has close to no real role in huge layoffs. I think the point is that huge layoffs are bad. And so, yeah. And so AI is one way of justifying the layoffs. Companies, when they do huge layoffs, they need to justify why it's happening. And the weaker is their explanation, the more the market will think that, oh my God, things are going bad at this company, Dell, everything is falling apart. So let's sell the stock right away, which makes the stock tank and things like it's like a feedback loop that keeps making things worse. So you need to give a good explanation, like a somewhat a positive explanation, if you can manage when you're doing layoffs. I don't think that these 12,500 employees, like that they're whatever they were doing before, now AI is doing the same thing for them in their place. I don't think so at all. Also, Intel had huge layoffs. Well, apparently it's a way of layoffs. So Intel, Microsoft, Dyson, UKG, and I guess Dell now adds to the list. So 80,000% is probably salespeople. You mean of the Dell people or of the Intel people? Man, I hope you mean Dell and not Intel. If Intel is in that situation, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I would agree that probably the majority is not software engineers. Essentially, Intel is not people working in validation. Yeah. Well, they got AI now doing validation at Intel, working out great. Okay, so we have 2 chunks of the website working. Not bad, huh? We also have some menu, like we have a bit of a menu, not a ton though. We have some of a menu. Okay, so what do we have next? We want to add back the code snippet, right? So the question is, how do we put the code snippet? Well, where is that code snippet as a starting point? It's in index.zig. So assets, zig code, index.zig. Man, if only we could like put it here, right? Fuck. How would it look like? Something like site.asset zig code / index .zig, and then somehow you read the content, so you do maybe .bytes, and then you take those bytes and you syntax highlight them as zig. That would be dope. It almost works. I guess it wants us to provide the pre-tags. That makes sense. The thing is, why is this code sample not going to the right side? We need to look at the original website to see what we are messing up in terms of HTML structure. So we have features, and then we have code sample. So code sample should be next to features. Oh, you know what's going on? I probably should have closed this like this. Oh shit, yeah. Was this not it? Oh, also this is dumb. I need to put this in code, not in pre. Still not fully understanding why this is not moving to the right. We might be missing some more CSS styling. Let's see. P class file. So that was missing. So by the way, this is like an artifact of how things work in Hugo. Then there's a pre, there's a code with class Zig. Oh, and then there's the output result. Oh, that one is gonna be funny. Okay, I have no idea why we're unable to make the 2-columnar layout work. Let's inspect. So content has code sample. Wait a second. Container contains features. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, so one thing that I did was wrong. Okay. Okay, I think we're now we're doing better. Content, container, features code sample. So the one next to the other, this is a flex direction row. Pre-class Zig. Okay, what does the official website one look like then? Class code sample. So it's a div code sample, just like this one. Are we inheriting special things in different ways? No, 0 relative, 100 pixel, 20, blah, 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 row, space between. So everything is the same. Then we get to code sample. Wait, is this just a matter of widening the window enough? No. I think I might have closed it also by mistake. So widening the window was not the solution there. What is going on, man? Also, I hate that this stupid thing doesn't know how to have the developer tools. Still focus, man. I hate this. Okay. Code sample. Container features code sample. Okay, so we're back to features code sample. So this really is the same. I don't understand what's going on. Somehow, what does the purple color mean? Yeah, it's basically kind of saying it has trouble fitting everything together. Somehow, somewhere is different. Something somewhere is different, and that's causing this thing to not be able to fit both on the same one next to the other. What if we didn't have flex wrap? Oh, you know also what it is? I think it's this line at the top. Maybe it's that line at the top that's causing the problem. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Let's remove that line. Yeah, now it fits. Yeah, that's the problem. That was a line that we would not render from Hugo. Okay, so it's there. Difference is that well, we don't have syntax highlighting, so we need to give it syntax highlighting. How do we do this syntax highlighting stuff? Because we're now syntax highlighting in a different way. So the CSS that does the syntax highlighting now doesn't work anymore. I think I'm gonna steal some syntax highlighting CSS from the Zine website. Yeah, talk this, talk that. SGR, okay. Pre-code. There's another code Zig. How many Zigs token things were there? There's another SGR. Oh no. What a mess. Code.zig string. What's the problem, man? Why don't you like this? Oh, because these colors are not defined. Oh, there we go. So we kind of want to keep that color though, like the default color for comments. A7. Oh, it's just comment. Okay. Comment gray. The code block has a margin comparing it to the Hugo version. Um, I mean, you mean the top? Yeah. Yep. I don't. I'm not sure it has some margin. That might be it. But the one at the top has another element that we don't have. I think something else is happening. Also, I'm noticing these have become H2s, and so as H2s, these are now smaller than they were before. So I think that here we should make H2s as big as H1s, at least in under features, maybe. So let's do this. Let's change the CSS slightly, at least for the homepage. There you go. Now we should be much more closer to what we were before. Space in between the LIs, huh? Yeah, there's a big gap in lists. And I can tell you why. Because we render a paragraph within each list, but they don't. Why do we render a paragraph in there? This has already come up before. And like, I don't think I'm doing anything weird. So whenever there's a list item, we do li. So we enter the list item. So after we enter the list item, we look at the child, and like, it's a fucking paragraph node. I don't think I only render p tags whenever there's a paragraph node, but for some reason LIs contain paragraphs, but those don't get rendered. Like, how does that work? Do you have a CSS reset? That's not it. I have the same exact CSS styling. When you see differences in rendering, it's because we are rendering different content. The CSS is the same. For example, why did the source code did not highlight in my version while here it does highlight? It's because this is highlighted using a different highlighter than the one that I'm using in Zine. So the one that uses in Zine defines different classes that need to be ported, which is what we did now. So this stuff is, I don't know what to do about this, because it seems to be like a weird special rule that we need to have in the rendering stuff. I want to look for a moment at the CMark parser, because I feel like that's an option in the CMark parser that we're not taking advantage of. So let's see. So no list, bullet list, ordered list. We're not really even following this, I believe, right now. No delimiter, period delimiter, parent delimiter. I guess this is also something that has to do with lists. But is there like a tight versus non-tight list thing option somewhere? Maybe. Let's see. Default, source position, hard breaks. Safe, unsafe, no breaks, normalize, validate UTF-8, smart, GitHub prelang, liberal HTML tag, footnotes, strike through, table prefer style attributes, full info string. No, that's not even that. So do they really check what the parent of a thing is? And if it's a list, they omit the p tags? Is that it? Like, that seems so weird. I'm kind of tempted to leave it as is. I'm not sure. Like, to style out the border and padding from directly nested p tags rather than remove the p tag completely. But at the same time, I'm kind of weirded out because I could have sworn that there was something about tightness of lists somewhere in this thing. And also now I'm curious to look at their HTML rendering routines. Then show me how you render the HTML then. Come on. Show me. HTML block, custom block, paragraph. Grandparent. Look at this, motherfucker. If grandparent is a list, tight equals grandparent as list tight. Otherwise, tight false. If not tight, prints the paragraph. So there was something about tightness. Let's take a look at something that says tight. Returns 1 if node is a tight list, 0 otherwise. Get list tight, set list tight. I guess that's list tightness then? I don't know, man. Okay, so I guess we want to have the same routine as well. Like, I'm not sure I fully grasp what's a tight list versus what's not a tight list. But fine. Oh no, what happened? Come on, dude. No, I did not want to do this. Okay, so I guess now things are more complicated, huh? I guess basically what we want to do is not immediately switch, but say, well, let's see what's going on. If node dot parent if node dot parent is there and the parent is going to be a list item. So this is not even, this is doing grand parent because the list item is not the list item. It's the list node, right? It's not item, it's list that we want. So that's why we have to go up twice. Grandparent. Okay, so we have the grandparent. If gp dot height, I guess, then we just return. I guess we can do it super weird like this. Just one weirdo if expression. Well, it's not return, actually, it's continue. Let's go implement tight. Oh, we have list type. Well, let's say list is tight. Okay, so now we do the list is tight stuff. Let's see. There we go. So I would say not bad. We're getting pretty close. This is a little bit bigger, I think. Oh, don't tell me. This is the P paragraph. This one doesn't have the P paragraph. Is this it? Yeah, this has under a div with very specific margin and stuff, immediately the contents. This guy instead has a paragraph underneath. Oh my god. Oh my god. So we need to make this a little bit tighter. Well, we can do this, I think, easily. But in this case, I'm not gonna remove the P from the render markdown, obviously. I'm just gonna play with the stuff. So I'm gonna do. Oh, well, what do you know? Slogan P display inline block. There you go. I think we're now to a very precise one-to-one. Yeah, that looks like it, right? Where new highlighting is super bizarre. I like the old one more. Yeah, well, no, honestly, I don't love the old one. I think the old one was kind of shitty in its own way. Like, it was very colorless. The new one is more colorful. Um, but it's still not great. I would agree on that. I have an open issue for the color highlighting because there's an algorithm that needs to be implemented to get color highlighting correctly. And we don't have that yet. And I need to do that because it's fundamental for getting super HTML to highlight correctly in code snippets. So I think we are great. All one fits well with the rest of the site. Does it really? I mean, does this blue, purple, whatever it is, fit at all? I think you're just used to the old one. You're used to looking at the old one, and that's like the comfortable one, which I believe it's also the same kind of highlighting that you get from like the reference. So it's just that this one is the new one is very different. Again, though, the new one is also not great. I would totally agree on that. So I think I guess my point is that both could be improved. I think there's a third syntax highlighting out there that is better than both these options. In any case, structure here, everything is going well. Everything is pretty on point, I would say. That's nice. So I guess we can try to move to the community section. We're missing this also. Although we can work on that later. Let's get the community section going. Oh, look, the in-depth overview stuff we totally fixed. Code sample also not a thing anymore. Okay, now we have container, blah, 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 title equals community. Jesus Christ. Look at this fucking mess. Holy shit. Now, this is interesting because what I think this needs to be. I think the community. Okay, this is how we render this, I think, in the HTML. So community becomes. So we need some kind of div with some of those extra rules. In it, it has an H1, I think. That H1 might also have extra styling, but what's most important, block missing ID. No, it's not that top level then, less top level. So we want this to be I18 and dot get community. This is how we do the title. And then these become two separate sections. So we render them as sections because we need to put these guys in the mix with correct styling. I don't think there's an easier way to pull this off, because because each thing needs to be inside of a container with a bunch of special rules. Okay, so let's start copying some code, I guess. So this is kind of what we want to get going. Yeah, that's kind of what we want. So okay, so this is our section title. These are the two divs. I'm gonna leave it there. So these are the two divs that need to be above here. Then there's one container with 25% with the image, with the community message. So these stays the same, except that this needs to be $side.asset. Link. Missing end tag. Missing end tag. Oh no. Which tag did I delete by mistake? Okay, let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Man, we keep indenting void elements the wrong way. I hate this. We need to fix this in Super HTML. I fucking hate this. So let's turn these h1 plus paragraph into what we want. So this means also this div opens down there. That's annoying. Prime went down. Now I'm here. What happened? Did he lose his connection? Did they shoot him down? Did he get swatted? He froze a couple times in a row. Oh no. So the problem is that we have this div that we are also adding stuff to it afterwards. We kind of would like to inject our stuff here, but the problem is that we need to put another div in here with the way things work around here. Content section is decentralized. Okay, let's start with this. God, look at this shit. Div style height 50 pixels. Oh, there's a spacer also. There's a 50 pixel spacer. I guess we can move that here. I think. No, down here maybe. Do you think making a Zig Discord server in Spanish would be a good idea? I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. You can only know the answer to that question if you try to run it and see what happens. I can tell you that what makes a difference is, do you have enough people who speak Spanish who are interested in Zig, who would be interested in participating in a community of that kind? I don't know what the answer is to that question. Oh, you have to keep that in mind, that there are probably plenty of Spanish-speaking people who do Zig, but probably a good chunk of them is fine with the, English Hangouts, and they don't need a Spanish-specific one. But some might. Some totally might. So, for example, I haven't created a Italian Zig Discord, but there is an Italian Telegram group that I created. And there are not a ton of people in there. There's like 40 people who speak Italian who hang out in that channel. It's not a very active channel though, which is what you get with very small communities. So I guess my point is you could totally get some value out of it. It's just, don't imagine that you open it and then a ton of people will flock into it right away and like immediately make it like this super active server. Probably you publicize it a little bit, you get a handful of people, like 12 dozen people. You have a handful of messages a week, and then over time, you either slowly keep growing, to which point it becomes a big community, or you slowly die. And there's no way really of predicting which is going to be. What I can predict with a high degree of certainty is the initial part. The initial part is going to be a grind. There is no way around that. Okay, let's see. Markdown syntax error. Syntax error found in a content file. HTML is forbidden. HTML is forbidden indeed. Oh. Talking about APR that escapes HTML syntax in these error messages, huh? If only somebody contributed something like this. Or maybe they did, and I haven't merged the APR yet. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay, let's go make... we should have decentralized now. Oh, yeah, right. But we have, as we were saying, HTML in here has been unescaped now. So let's get rid also of this garbage here. And this garbage here. And this garbage here. And this garbage here. and this garbage here. Any better? Missing value. Missing value. Right, community. Unable to access Ziggy.svg. File not found. Yeah, where's Ziggy? Ah, it's probably in the nested stuff. There are some logos, but I don't see any Ziggy. Was Ziggy a local asset? It's kind of hard to know. There are some assets in here. But these are very nested, very specific. Where was... Oh, is it in static? Normal static? Yeah, Zig and Zero are in normal static. Okay. So, move. Static. 0.svg. Ziggy.svg. Let's also move the favicon stuff. Okay, now assets have some of this stuff. Let's see if we build. Now we build. Okay. It's not, I don't think it's exactly the same. I think it's slightly different, but we have something. I also think, what about this community? So container and h1. Div class alt background container section title container. Is this really what I was going for? Container section title container. Okay. Then never mind. That's exactly what I was going for, I guess. Oh, here's why things are slightly different though. Inspect. So here we have a bunch of paragraphs. Here we don't have the paragraphs. So we probably want to consolidate those paragraphs into just one paragraph. Then the second problem is this garbage here. And then there's a see all communities. So let's get rid of some of that stuff. There is something that makes it bigger? How? Oh shit, do we have like a line break in here? We have a line break. How come that we cannot render a line break and instead we render 2 paragraphs? What? Okay, so how does this render? This still renders without that new line. But then if I put another new line, oh, we crashed also. Oh, but that's okay. That's a bug in the dev server. So now we have 2 paragraphs. So we're missing the ability to add hard breaks on things. But I think that's a setting in the parser. I don't think that's our rendering function doing it wrong. I think it's one of the hard breaks, blah, blah, blah. No breaks. Render soft break elements as spaces. Wait, soft break elements? Maybe that's our problem. Is there like a soft break element that we're just not rendering at all? No definition found. Come on, man. Oh yeah, soft break, line break. Okay, I think the problem is this. We might not be rendering this shit. Slash n is soft break, slash n is hard break. Yes, and there's also... Well, actually, I'm not sure about the second one because that might be 2 different paragraphs every time. But you have end of line, space, new line. That is a soft break, I believe. Let's see how we render those. Soft break. Oh shit. Okay, we have we certainly have opinions about this stuff. BR maybe? And then the other one is BR. We need to take a look at what their renderer does, I think. Okay, so with this, we are rendering this soft break as a single BR. But that seems to me not okay. I think that the way it should work render soft break elements as hardline breaks. No breaks. Render soft break elements as spaces. So, and if I do space here, what happens? What do we render these at? So this is the BR. Okay. So what we want is this and this, I think. Well, no, this is a space. Okay, so we were able to replicate the same thing. So here's the funny thing, okay? You see these 2 spaces at the end of this line? They have semantic meaning. Like if I delete one of these spaces, I delete the space. Now it's not a break of that kind anymore. I don't know. Seems kind of stupid to me. I think this is one thing that I want to change from Markdown. But anyway, so now we have this block we were able to replicate it, so that's awesome. And now we should do main development. And after main development, Zig Software Foundation, that one is super easy. And then the final parts. I would say not bad. I would say not bad. There's a rendered version of the spec. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Z community is decentralized. Now we need to do main development. Class container, blah, blah, blah. So the H1 goes, the A goes, the A goes, the P goes. I don't know where the P opened. Oh, it opened here and it goes. So these guys go. Everything else stays the same. Modulo vertical alignment. I wonder why we're copying this match stuff. Well, I mean, that's because the other thing has to be, it's an H2. Interesting. So this H1 was provided through tags somehow? Why? Man, this is like, this thing exists precisely for this reason. Why was I not using these things? Bug.id, I don't know. ZSF maybe. That's good enough. So yeah, now we stop pulling in extra stuff. Also, there's a missing image here that should probably load but fails to load. So we need to fetch that one as well. But in any case, for now, let's render the CSS section. So after these guys, there's a container. How deep are we? I think we should just be close to top level. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Why is this so big? Oh, this has special styling, huh? Class section title. This one seems the same. Okay, so it's just that it has section title. Well, guess what? That did not work. Why? Fuck, that should have worked. Why? Oh, I think that's on me. Because we don't render that directive. So when we see a heading, we're just doing the normal heading level stuff, but we also need to look at the directive. Oh, yes, and the directive gives it an ID. But is it actually? Are we doing this? It's not getting an ID. How come that it's not even getting an ID? I know why, because we're not giving that directive to the heading itself. Okay, so in SuperMD AST, when we analyze a heading, we grab the script, we do the section stuff, but we also give this directive to the heading. So try h.set h.set directive. There you go. Expected 2 arguments. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's actually fine. I think I'm on board with this. Context directive ignored. Yeah. Okay. Now it should have an ID, and it does have an ID, but we want to give it a class. So let's also make sure that we render classes, not just IDs. So here we are running in DD, which is great. But there's no else. There is no else. There is print an if it has an ID. And then if d.authors do this. And then close. Perfect. Hope the weather's nice on the inner side of the whole world. Okay. I mean, I'm messing with Markdown and HTML. It doesn't get more hollow than this world, to be honest. Well, maybe YAML and Kubernetes. I don't know. It's like head to head. I am noticing different spacing though. So it's mostly similar, but there's more spacing here than here. The difference is that this is an H2 directly under an H1. This is an H2 directly under an H1. This one has a div in the middle. And I think that might be causing slightly different behavior. You see H1, H2. We do it here instead. We have H1. No, never mind. We have H1 and H2 right away. What the heck? Am I going insane? Does this ID have any styling to it? It doesn't. Section title. Section title. Is it because then I guess the only reason things could be different is that this is inside of a div, not directly under container. Is there any weird styling that section title directly under container has that we're losing? Okay, I have no idea what's causing this different spacing. But you know what? Like this one is, I think, fairly okay. No, this is not okay. So this one up top has its own fair share of issues. So there are some minor issues. Like main development is pretty much okay. But what is going on here? What are those? Text, line break, text. Oh my god. Okay. Well, here, text, line break, text. Ah. What are we missing? Well, there's clearly something funky going on. Okay. How about text wrap balance? Text wrap balance? Never heard of it. Doesn't seem to have any particular effect in here. I think it's container. Inspect. This is an H1. Is this an H1? This is an H1. I think it's the extra div that's causing issues. Like if I were, out of curiosity, if I were to move these things outside. No, it still looks weird. So it's somewhere else. I think it's something else. Okay. It's probably something that has to do with the outer layers that I need to fix. So Zig Software Foundation, we have that. Let's see what else do we have in the Markdown. I guess the main work here is like turn the Markdown from pure garbage into one reasonable piece of content that isn't too insane. That's pretty much the only thing that we're doing here. So corporate sponsors. Corporate sponsors. And then GitHub sponsors. Oh, that's annoying because we want to put this sentence at the very end. And here there's the embedded content. The embedded asset, huh? Well, you know what this means? This means that this probably should go into our Ziggy file. I guess that's one way of doing it. Okay, let's go do these final things. So, sponsors. How do we do this? How do we do this? Okay, I see. Alt background, container, H1, bunch of logos. Then GitHub sponsors. There's an H1 for GitHub sponsors. So basically, I think we want to do this. I guess that's kind of how we want to do this. We are missing the like big sponsors section. Maybe we could also sneak in the H1 through the system. We don't have corporate sponsors. I haven't saved this file. You know what? Maybe we should do it like this. But these are H1s in here. Do we have in Ziggy the word sponsors? We don't. Okay, let's do this. Actually, call this sponsors. It only says sponsors. These guys go under. And then we make them big. Could we do that? I guess we could do that. Or, you know what else we could do? What if we did this? Although that seems very inconsistent because I didn't do that for community. Nah. Yeah, it's fine. So in HTML, we have corporate sponsors, blah, blah, blah. And then we need something with the section title with the I18N. Please show me one. Do. We had an example of that earlier. Where did it go? There we go. Have a great evening too. I see 3Q4. So yeah, we have it. We're missing all the extra stuff, but we have it. And so then we can do man, imagine me being able to put comments, huh? In stuff. Fucking mind blowing, man. Okay, so we can do this. And then we just need to do at the end. Oh, this is annoying though, because this moves this sentence outside of this block. That sucks. That sucks indeed. but that's how it has to be anyway. Okay, so okay, I gave it an insane name, which I thought I was gonna regret, but actually I don't even regret that much. Nice. This section is updated at the beginning of each month. Now we're missing just the stuff. So what happens if we do this? GitHub sponsors homepage. Ah. Ha ha ha. Just need some spacing there. What, dude? Come on. What? Even as a div, I get no spacing. Like, how is this possible? Why do you have to be like this, man? Oh, you know what? Yeah, right. Fair. You know what? Yeah. I'll make it a P. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So we're getting there. We need to put in all these images. That's one thing that we need to do for sure. At this point, like, this really is begging for snippets. Like, it's begging for a piece of thing that can be reutilized by different pages necessarily. So we need snippets. Everything else is mostly there. We still need to do also the navigation, but we ported a good chunk of the homepage. And in the process, we made the markdown dramatically better. Like, look at this. This is like, this is reasonable. This is readable. Like, slogan, features. You see these guys. The Z community is decentralized, main development, Z Software Foundation. Corporate sponsors, GitHub sponsors. Yeah. Like, you can make a sense of things. Let's compare it with the original. Metaprogramming, some content, more metaprogramming, fucking buttons, more metaprogramming. The community is decentralized. Inline HTML, more weird tags, Oh god, I scrolled away. Endless amounts of weird tags, like weird tags every fucking where. And now this is just content. The worst that you get is not marking something as a block. I would say not bad. Obviously, there's a ton more that I need to improve with this whole Markdown block system. This is just the beginning, but I feel like that this content authoring experience is significantly better than the one that we had with Hugo. Like, no joke, significantly better. Couldn't all sections auto-generate block IDs? No, because the problem is if you auto-generate a block ID out of the title, then you change the title slightly, and then now the ID doesn't match anymore. So now you have to go fix that into the layout. And sometimes you want to define these IDs, right? Like manually. So also, block IDs kinda indicate a place where something else could be injected. Like, for example, that these three things will be rendered as a unified block, or also features. Like, that this thing is like a thing that is going to be rendered as is. But then you don't know what goes between this piece of content and this piece of content. And in fact, in the layout, we do inject stuff. Like, we inject stuff, for example, between the Z community is decentralized and main development. Like, we inject content before, between, and after. So in a sense, it is good to see these things explicitly in the Markdown, in my opinion, because you get an idea of, like, they don't interrupt your flow too much, but you get an idea of, okay, so this is verbatim. Like, this is verbatim. This is not exactly verbatim. So honestly, I'm digging it. I'm not sure if I want to use the word block. Also, there's an inconsistency because I'm calling them block here. I'm calling them sections on the other side. That's because I'm tiptoeing between the two names for things. So I haven't really figured out everything yet. But I feel like the core concepts are solid. And holy shit, is this a better document now than it was before? Okay, so I think that this is it for me. We've done some serious HTML work. We mostly ported everything back. Some concessions, right? Not everything is a one-to-one. Some divs are there that weren't there before. Some stuff is still missing. Like, we need these pages available also in the following languages. This needs to be replicated. The links to things also should be done in a better way. Also, this get started thing is not fully wired. I think that this needs to be parameterized through some global setting that decides what is the latest release. And yeah. And yeah, well, of course, the top. Okay, you know what? Let's restore the Zig logo and then let's call it a day. So what is going on with the Zig logo? Oh, you know what? Why am I doing this? Here's what I should do. Let's go into base. Oh, also, are we doing the local code correctly? Yeah, look at that. Delicious. Okay, let's see what's going on with the title. Link rel icon dollar site dot asset icon dot svg. What's the problem, man? Script evaluated type asset. Oh yeah, you're right. Gotta link them. Okay, so this is slightly better. But the heading image, where is that one? Span ID header image. Then there's a nav. Wait, is the header image defined through CSS? Oh my freaking god. It is. Okay, so the problem is this asset is only defined in CSS, and we don't inspect CSS at the moment. So to make it work, we need to go in our build.zig and we need to say that it has a static asset in what's it called? Zig logo light SVG. I guess there's also dark. No field name static assets. Oh, did I get nice explanations? No, only for multilingual, not for assets. Unable to update file assets Zig logo SVG to Zig logo dark file not found. This error message could be better, but okay. This one comes straight from the Zig build system. I think we want to copy everything over, honestly. All of these we want to copy over. Actually, we don't even need a dash r. Just copy these files all in assets. There we go. And I think we need to list all of them in there because we have Zig logo, this and that, but I think we also need the rest. Because they're also going to be referenced by CSS. There we go. We gained Zig. We still haven't gained these things. Why have we not gained these external link styling? Oh, I know why. Because we were actually we were rendering them truly differently in Hugo. I think that this is something that we can hard code in Zine because it seems a good idea anyway. Although, how? Okay, this is an open question. Like, how do you personalize rendering of links in Zine? That is a good question indeed. A good question indeed. Something to think about. So for now, we don't do that, and that's fine, I guess. Did we gain the heart? Oh, we can't tell if we gain the heart or not because we can't see the menu. Fuck. Okay, so we need to fix the menu to get to the next level. In any case, we definitely made some progress. Can't CSS do that? The idea is here I'm styling only links towards external sites. Yes, with CSS you could only select links that start with HTTPS, but you might also have an interest in defining external links as, for example, rel, no opener, no referral, target blank. So like target blank and rel no opener are two attributes that is reasonable to want to give to external links. So what do we do about those? Like, how can people define those? Oh, you know what? That's actually super fucking easy. I know the solution to this question. That's obvious. I have all the tools. Why am I even stressing, man? Why am I even fucking stressing? It's so obvious. That's how you do it. You have block image video. We have a link directive. That's how you do it. Let's match around type. Match around type. Yeah, we create a link. So a link has a source, which is going to be an href in our case, but it doesn't have these attributes. But what it does have is stuff like, well, you know what? I could have kept them and just renamed them. So it has like no opener, maybe, and pop up if you want target blank, for example. And then we can remove these. What else do people put there? Target blank rel no opener. I could probably take a look at what you can give to a to anchor elements. Attribution source specifies that you want the browser to send an attribution reporting eligible header. On the server side, this is used to trigger sending a attribution reporting register source header that responds to register a navigation-based attribution source. What the fuck is this shit? Publisher's page. Okay, no. Fucking Mozilla. God damn it. So no. Download causes the browser to treat the linked URL as a download. For example, that is a good attribute to have, right? Can be used with or without a file name value. Without a value, the browser will suggest a file name extension generated from various sources. File name defining a value suggests it as a file name. So, for example, you could have that. And we can make it maybe an optional string. Are arrows after link done using after CSS tags? Could be. Yeah, I think so. I think I was giving them the external link class via Hugo, and then the CSS was taking care of the rest. Yes, I believe so. Download and then file name. So we collapse them into just an optional string that if the string is defined, basically both things in one. href, that's that's what you're linking to. Although this is interesting. What if you want to have a link to something else? Huh? Well, I guess we'll get to that. hreflang hints at the human language of the linked URL. Ping, a space-separated list of URLs. When the link is followed, the browser will send post requests with the body ping to the URLs, typically for tracking. Why is this even a thing? Why are you even supporting this stupid fucking tag? Like, what? So there's all the we're here to keep the internet safe and open and everything else. And then there's all the discussions about sharing cookies between sites, and then there's a fucking ping attribute. Like, what? Oh my god. Referrer policy. Rel, the relationship of the linked URL as space separated link types. Target. Target self. Target blank. Target parent. Target top. Target unfenced top allows embedded fenced frames to navigate the top level frame. Note, setting target blank on A elements implicitly provides the same rel behavior as setting rel no opener. It starts the browser to navigate to the target source without granting the new browsing context access to the document that opened it. By not setting the window.opener property on the open window, it returns null. This is useful when opening untrusted links. Type hints at the link URL's format with a meme type, no built-in functionality. Deprecated attributes. Charset, chords, name, rev, shape, accessibility. Okay, so we need to understand what we want to do with, oh god, like links like these ones and fragments. Although it's fine because we can try, I guess we can, what we can do is add I guess we can give a couple extra options to source. Like what we consider a source was previously an external link, a page asset, a site asset, or a build asset. But it can also be, I guess, a couple more things, right? Like a reference to page local ID, a fragment. And then maybe maybe we can call it ID instead of fragment then. Or just frag. I don't know. But then what about a link to a page? I'm linking to this page. I should probably rename these things to like page asset, site asset, build asset, and then we can have normal page. So as you can see, I have some work to do, but this is great. This is great. Is it for autocomplete? Eventually, probably also yes. But what I want to achieve with Zine is making mistakes build errors. So I want to be aware when you intend to link to a local fragment, and ideally, I should be able even to answer the question of, okay, are we sure that this fragment exists in this page? So like if you're linking, you should be able to say, I want to link to a section or something. And then we might be able to say, well, no, this section doesn't exist. I'm not sure. It's kind of complicated because to really make the system 100% correct, we would have to be extremely restrictive in how you express things. So I don't know if it's worth it, but that's kind of the idea. The idea is let's model things semantically in as semantical way as we can, so that we can then provide better tooling around it, autocomplete, build errors, that kind of stuff. For example, the system where you can specify that something is an asset and you link to the asset, this stuff here, this is what drives the installation of this asset. Like this asset, like style.css, gets copied to the output directory only because it's being linked. So by making it so that when you express something, that something has to be expressed through the system, allows us to implement the functionality, for example. So I don't know what the logic should be for links to local stuff, but I'm not sure. And I guess this can also go. Well, I don't know. We'll see. In any case, you get the idea. Also, maybe to image, I should give like a boolean that says link. If you also want the image to be linked. And maybe we can say linked. Or maybe clickable. Nah, linked is fine. Yeah, those tell, email, mail, and SMS, those are actually fine, I think. I probably need to change. Right now, I'm expecting this to be a URL. I think those are not URLs, they are URIs. So we can expand this URL parsing to accepting also URIs. But, you know, whatever. One step at a time. One step at a time. So I think this was it. We got a bunch of stuff moved over. We know how to make things better. There's more Zine that needs to be implemented as we do this move, right? Because we notice now that we need to implement some more things that we don't have yet. But bit by bit, we're going to implement everything. We're going to move the entire website, and Zine is going to become capable of implementing more and more complicated websites. So thank you all for hanging out. I hope you had fun, and I think I will see you tomorrow or whenever the next time is. So bye all. Actually, let me see if anybody is streaming from the Zig community. Doesn't seem like it. So yeah, calling it a day.